Welp, you know winter's over when they start sweeping all the streets. It's always a good sign. That means it's time for the cool cars. Today on the Evo, we are going to be doing some exterior things. ECU should be in Monday. Today is currently Saturday. I got one overnighted. It's shipped out today. Of course, now tomorrow is Sunday, and they're not going to deliver on Sunday, I don't think. So ECU should be here Monday. First started coming Monday, provided that was the only issue that the car had. And there's not really much else to do on the car besides exterior things. So I want to get the exterior, hopefully the body of the car just fully assembled. We got bumpers, we got headlights, fenders, side skirts. The wing, we completely need to reassemble the spoiler. What else? Maybe some other shenanigans as well. So that's exciting. It'll be super cool to see this car complete. The hood too. Hood scoop. Or not the hood scoop, the hood vent. I thought it was the STI there for a sec. So it's gonna be pretty cool to see this thing fully complete. Get her on the ground and see how cool it looks. Bobby and I have came up with this new saying. Maybe it's not new. It might be in a song or something, but we keep repeating it. I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. We were hanging out yesterday for a little bit. She came to the shop and we were just talking and thinking, like, me especially, and I think Bobby has this problem, I'm always in a hurry. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm driving, if I'm at the gym, if I'm building a car, it seems like me and everyone else in the world, everyone driving around, everyone's in a hurry, but for what? So we keep like repeating this thing to like try to remind myself to slow down a little bit and actually be present and look around and be like, wow, I'm actually living. I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. Okay, let's start slapping on some body panels, starting with the front end. Front end, not front end. First thing that is gonna go on is going to be the hood hinges, and then Bobby's on her way over right now so we can hang the hood together. But before that, I'll probably get the fenders on. But the hinges most certainly should go on before the fenders go on, I believe. Hinges should be up in this box here. Okay, they are. Now I have painted hardware for everything. I also have titanium hardware for everything. I think, it's probably gonna be a mixture of both. I'm gonna lean more toward the titanium, but I'm gonna keep all the painted hardware just in case I do not like the titanium look. Kidding, for these guys, I do not happen to have any titanium hardware. So painted it is. Remember the ticket to keeping your painted bolts as nice as possible is a 12-point socket. I'm gonna leave the hinges loose, lightly snugged so they're not flopping around, but loose enough to where we can adjust. Alrighty, first fender going on. Looks like we could have very easily got the hinges on with the fender on, so that is not a big deal. Now the fenders are most certainly gonna get titanium hardware to hold it on. First fender's on. I was taught to start aligning the panels from the quarter panel. So it goes quarter panel,
rear door aligned to the quarter panel, front door aligned to the rear door, fender aligned to the front door, and then hood aligned to the fenders. So I got that gap pretty freaking good. Up top at least. I feel like on the bottom it could be a tiny bit tighter. Now of course we gotta make sure the door opens without coming too close. Alrighty, next fender. If I'm being honest, the reason I wanted to start with the front is because I'm dying to see what it's gonna actually look like complete with the headlights on. I think I already showed you guys these, but you know we had to go all out and buy a brand new set of OEM headlights for it. Look at those freaking beauties, man. Now these will have to come back off later on for some clips and bulbs and whatnot, but that's okay, right? Headlight is fully mounted. Of course, being a brand new, or just the OEM part in general, it fits like it should, which is perfection. A seal fits like it should. Everything is on, looks absolutely wonderful. Man, oh man, I'm glad I bought these. A lot of money, but well worth it. Couldn't we all agree? She's finally starting to look like a complete car. Trim that more. I don't like cramming on a brand new headlight onto a brand new chassis. That stupid power brace.
Be careful, Hoss. Holy, watch my eye. I'll be right back and go grab my water.
You're going to poop.
Nope, I'll see you.
Oh.
Did you fart?
No. Don't worry about any bolts, just put your hand where it belongs. Imagine we chipped the paint. I hate putting hoods on and trunks. I did the trunk myself. Go down on your side.
Got it?
Got it.
What do you want me to do? I want to do the bolts.
Your services here are done.
Alright, I'll make that one.
Alrighty, hood is on. Let's do a careful closing and make sure she don't hit fenders and whatnot. So the hood is on with the hinges. Unfortunately, the hinges are tweaked for the old carbon hood, so I need to get some of those. But Bobby and I are gonna set on, what, Bobby? A bumper. It's quite dusty, huh? Well, boys, the front end of this thing is all complete. Couple things we need. Mesh for the center here, the upper section, mesh for the intercooler part. In the past, I've left that wide open on like the blue build and the black build. I think this car deserves the OEM mesh there, which is discontinued, so it might be hard to find. Fog light mesh, and then of course this hood. As you can see, it doesn't close. I could force it to close, but like we discussed earlier, those hinges, the OEM hinges, are severely bent to fit the carbon hood that was on this car. So I need to pick up a new set of hinges. Let's move on to the side mirrors. We got to get those things fully assembled and installed onto the car. So here we have all of the parts laid out for both side mirrors. The first thing I'm going to do is run through and coat all of the super faded, nasty plastic with some trim coat. Ready for the magic? That's magic. Everything is cleaned up. Plastic is trim coated. Mirrors themselves are polished. These things turned out very, very nicely. Very, very nice, I should say. So let's go ahead and get everything assembled. Let's see here. To start, this guy goes down in here. Okay, so that's all finished up. This little trim piece goes here. And then all of that gets screwed right onto the base. And we have a complete mirror. Dang. Sometimes when you push a little too hard on the glass when you're trying to install it, you shatter it. Dang it, Devin. Easy to replace, but that's sad. Now this is kind of temporary. I've put the mirrors on. They're gonna come back off later on when we do a full cut and polish on this car, but so they're not kicking around the shop. Just toss them on and see how it looks. With the mirrors complete and on the car, let's move on to the coolest part of this exterior, the factory Evo 8 wing. So we got everything laid out here. The carbon fiber blade itself, this thing turned out very, very nice. The carbon inner uprights, the outer uprights, some titanium hardware to assemble, and 2 little brackets. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we need to get these installed onto the blade. Now from the factory, these guys are riveted on. I'm deciding and opting for titanium hardware. So that's how that's gonna look. Should look very, very nice. Now also from the factory, there is some glue around the bolt holes and right up in here. So I am going to be using some of this Norton panel bond to kind of replicate that. I don't think it's probably necessary, but if it's there from the factory, we should probably put it back on. This stuff is super strong, so you don't need much. Okay, something like that. Now these brackets here, this is the only bracket on the wing. Those are gonna go through like so. And these guys, I am going to rivet back on in place. Now it is time for the final piece, the outer uprights. Around the whole perimeter, it's supposed to be glued. I'm gonna be using the same panel bond here. I'm not sure what the factory uses, but this stuff ought to do the trick. Toss some clamps on it so it can dry in place. Okay, there are 2 rivets that rivet this carbon upright to the outer paint matched upright, and we are done. Our 2-part epoxy is all finished up, cured fully. I don't want to get the wing on without it being fully cured. Here's how it looks. Absolutely amazing. Super excited. I went ahead and did the titanium hardware up in there. Dang, son. In the wise words of Bobby, let's make this thing look a little less like a Lancer. Surprisingly enough, there's only 1 nut and 1 bolt that hold this freaking wing on. Let's see about some side skirts. Now the factory uses some sort of double-sided tape on this top edge where it meets the, what would you call it, like the rocker. So I decided to do the same. So it's a nice tight fit. I'm just using some 3M VHB. Some thick foam double-sided tape should do the trick. Now before I peel the tape backing, I'm gonna set the skirt up and make sure all these, make sure all the clips line up because they do slide around. And I don't want this tape to start sticking when things ain't lined up. Man, oh man, the Evo is looking like an Evo. Look at that fitment. Look at that. Freaking fitment, boys. Man, that's nice. All the body panels are on, minus the rear bumper. I might need to do some paint work on the rear bumper, so that's why I didn't put it on. But other than that, this thing is dialed. I'll see you boys tomorrow.